Okay, so you've gone on the free trial, you've entered your details, you've had an activation email from MyVBook. Now, when you get that email, you click on the activation link and that brings you back into the software. And all it then requires is you just to put in your username and password to log in. So let me just take you through that. You can click on the members login button, just type in your username and password as you registered them. When you click login, it takes you into what we call your control panel. Now this is a very simple area, but it's where you actually do all the creation and previewing of the VBooks that you're creating. There's a few bits down the left hand side here just to help you work out how to create a new book, but it's very, very easy. What you actually do is just click on plus new MyVBook. So very explanatory. What's going to happen in here is it's going to ask you to name that book. So let's say, for example, Summer Holiday. So I've created a book called Summer Holiday. What it then says is, do you want the diary enabled? And you either tick it for yes or leave it blank for no. Now the diary feature is custom to MyVBook. What it allows you to do is put in elements like text, audio, video and images into diary entries. So that let's say on a certain day of the month you did something like training for a marathon, you could upload all of those to the 1st of January, and then when you click on that in the diary it will show all that information on the right hand page. If you then upload something onto the 7th of January, when you click on the 7th, that will change what's on the page. So you can keep a great track as you go along of something that's diary based. I'm not going to use it for the moment, I'm just going to show you how to customize a book, but the next option is to select the number of pages, and depending on your membership option depends on how many pages, but you can change this later. If you need more pages you can go back into this panel here and just up the amount of pages as you're going. I'm going to click 6 just to keep it simple. The final thing is, what type of VBook do you want? Now this is the size. Now VBook standard size is more like an American size. It's bigger than A4 and it's fantastic for creating wedding books and photo albums and top edge sort of virtual books really. The other options that we've put in of course are A4, and the reason for that is that if you're a company or a individual who's got A4 graphics that are properly sized to that and created for that, by putting it onto an A4 page it will keep the ratios perfect, so it'll stay really crisp. I'm just going to click on the landscape option because that's quite a nice way of doing a holiday book. If I click on the landscape and then click on create MyVBook, what you'll see in the control panel is it's instantly put that book in place. So it couldn't be simpler. A few options in here button wise then. The most important one of those is going to be edit, because edit's what allows you to access the book, create what you want to put into that book before you then click on the view option or preview option, which allows you to see how it looks before you share it with somebody. There is also obviously the option to share, because that's the best bit about creating something you're happy with, is sharing it with others. And of course there is a delete option, although do be aware, and it does prompt you when you click delete, that once it's deleted it has gone for good. What that does is that frees that book back up again if you want to start creating another one from scratch. Let me just take you into this book by clicking on the edit button, and what you'll see in here very simply, there are 6 little tabs because I said 6 pages. You'll always see that in addition to those 6 you get a front cover as well, so you can make it personalised. These are really like thumbnails, so if you ever want to drag these around, if you change the order of how you want something or you want to move them around, that's great. There's the options in here to save, and we recommend you save regularly. You'd save in Word or anything else you're using quite regularly to make sure you don't lose any content, and we suggest you do it here certainly before you then share the book and preview the book to make sure it's exactly how you want it. Preview will show you how it will look when you share it with someone else. There's an undo and a redo option, and then there's a grid, and this grid really allows you to line things up. It doesn't show when you preview the book, it's just there to help you get alignment right. And obviously there's zoom in and zoom out. Down the right hand side here, this is one of the 2 sections of editing within the site, and this gives you the option to do things like add text, add images, add video, add audio, add a background, add clip art, add image masks, add a frame, and there's more help down the bottom which also refers to the tutorials. What I'm going to do, if I just type into this text box any random text and then drag it into place, what you'll see when I then click on it is it brings up the second area of editing with lots of features. Now I'm not going to take you through that just in this, I'm going to take you through that in the next section, which is about adding and editing text and images. So lots of features that come in as soon as you start adding content.
MyVBook.com, the next generation of sharing. Save a tree, send a V.